Hi everybody, welcome to Caffeinated Crafting. My name is Daniela, known as Caffeinated Gert on the interwebs. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Caffeinated Gert. You can find the podcast at www.caffeinatedcraftingpodcast.blogspot.com, and you can find it on YouTube, of course, Caffeinated Crafting. It's been like a month since I recorded. I don't know where May went. May just went boom, it's gone. I don't know. I really don't know. I've been working hard on my craft space. Tiger was asleep, but here he is. So, he's even already been outside, so he ought to be good and tuckered out. He doesn't normally go outside, but he's a sneaky little booger and manages it sometimes, even though he's not supposed to. Let me put this over here. Maybe he'll come up. You want to come sit right here? You want to come sit here? Up here. There you go. You want to say hi? Come here. Oh, there's you guys, a big old tiger to enjoy. There's the big old tiger. He's ferocious. Doesn't he look ferocious? Look at this belly. Oh, that belly. Look at that belly. He's ferocious. But maybe he'll just hang out here and be quiet. That would be awesome. So, all right. So you guys got your tiger fix. That's all taken care of. Let's see. Been a month. That's what I was talking about. We had Mother's Day. Today is Memorial Day. I do have to work a little bit, but I've been working on my Gert Cave and tidying it up. I've been working on it for a few weeks now, trying to organize it, because after I broke the leg in July, this room has really just been used as a storage room, because I haven't spent any time out here at all. So it was kind of like, oh, let's just dump it over there. Let's just dump it in that room. Nobody's gonna see it there, kind of thing. And so I wanted to be able to start using the room again, especially now that it's spring and summer, because it's a sunroom. It's great when it's nice out. It's not as great in the winter time. I mean, it does have heater and all out here, but it's just not as cozy. It's cooler than it is in the main house because it's on a separate unit. The inside is gas, the outside is, this out here is electric, and you can tell the difference. So I just don't use it as much in the winter time. It's cozier to sit in bed or on the sofa and knit or whatever rather than out here. However, now it's tidy, so now I won't be embarrassed to have company over and, you know, for crafting. I have my, let's see if I can kind of show you guys without making you too dizzy. I have my cutting board station set up there. That's the door to the back room. And then I have some storage for yarn, a little TV that I hardly ever use. And then those boxes have fabric and sewing notions in them. And then there, those boxes, and the top chest has fabric. The bottom chest has yarn in it, and it's sitting on an old entertainment center, and that is what I put all my like batting and fusible fabric and stuff in. Let's go over this way again. Hi. Have some bags hanging on the door. It had shawls on the door, which I really liked how that looked, but someone, Tiger, keeps snagging them. So they had to get put away. I'm gonna have to like wash and reblock them all. He didn't like snag them enough to break the yarn, but enough that they're gonna have to all be reblocked. Not all of them, but the ones that were dangling down. It's my fault. I should have known better. And then so I got a little chair, yarns. There's a spinning wheel. My other spinning wheel's in the living room. Bookshelf. I don't really like this corner back here very much. It still has like oddball yarn in bags, and I'm not quite sure what to do with that other than use up the yarn. And then this is new. It's plastic. It was a daily deal on Amazon storage bins. So that has all my yarn in it. Well, not all. Most of my yarn in it now. And there's the ironing board for sewing. So that, I hope I did it slow enough that no one got dizzy. That is now my tidied up craft space. And the part you didn't see is this, I have this huge dining room table. It's like a marble top table. I inherited it from my mom. And that's what I use as my desk. So, yay. I think it's gonna be quiet. Shh. Quiet tiger. So, let's start with finished objects. I knit up my hat for kiddos for May. Yes, nudge, nudge. He says, nudge, nudge, pet me. Nudge, nudge. You're so rotten. I knit a barley because, you know, it's a good pattern. I have it memorized, and so why not? The theme this time was flowers, like spring flowers. And this yarn is Malabrigo Rios in the Arco Iris colorway. So that's how I made it work. I haven't posted it in the finished thread yet. I need to go do that. Finish that. He has his head up against me and I'm petting his ear and he's just, you're just so rotten. You are so rotten. Go find a spot and sleep. Yeah, so I finished this on the way out of town. We went to Dixon, Bon Aqua, actually. It's where my in-laws live. And so I got to go to the Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest on Friday, this past Friday. I always go with my mother-in-law. We go spend the weekend with them and then go by the Fiber Fest. It's our tradition now. So on the way down there, I finished that hat. Would you quit sticking your wet nose on me? Can you do that? Can you do that? Yes, I know you're lovely and soft and fluffy, but can you stop sticking your wet nose on me, please? Maybe go aggravate someone else? That would be great. Or lay down. Can you lay down? There, down. Good kitty. Good kitty. Sometimes she's a good kitty. Not very often. I finished 2 pairs of socks since I've spoken to you. I finished these lovely pink socks, which are, the pattern is the Avenues by Knitting Expat Designs, Mina Phillips, who also has the Knitting Expat podcast. I made these a little shorter for summertime wearing. I'm still trying to decide. I might give these to my mom for her birthday in September. I always do shorter socks for her birthday present, or I might keep them. I haven't decided yet. I have lots of socks. It's not like I need more, so it'll probably be one of those. Do I have time to knit her more socks? And if no, she'll have these. I'm not going to wear them anytime soon, so they'll just kind of hang out until that time. The lovely Speckled Goodness yarn, isn't it gorgeous, is by Bev's 9 Hole Yarns. And I had the, well, I showed it to you guys last time, the ball band, so you've seen it. Super, super cute. She's a new dyer. This was in her very first shop update when I bought this back in April. And she's in Canada. But lovely, lovely. And my other finished socks are, these had been on the needle since August of last year. I finally finished my Hermione's Everyday socks. And the yarn was dyed for me by my friend Valerie, especially for me. And it was super, super awesome to knit with. I love the color, and these are definitely mine because I'm not giving them away. I love them. I love how the sock pattern just kind of breaks it up a little bit. The Hermione's Everyday sock pattern, I know everybody and their mama has knit them, and there's a reason people keep knitting them because it's a great just texture pattern. Same for the Mina Phillips patterns, though. I have found they're great texture patterns. I mean, this was really easy, but it just gives it a little, I I don't know if you can see that even all that well. See, but you can tell the difference between this here. There's more showing on this side. Between this and this, see how it just kind of breaks it up? There. Now you can see it. Speaking of Mina Phillips and Knitting Expat Designs, don't forget we are doing a knit along for her patterns. You have until the end of June, so there's plenty of time to still knit. I have these finished, and then I have some more cast on. I'm pretty much just doing socks because I'm in a sock thing. I don't know. I just feel like knitting socks. I'm going to go with it. If nothing else, I'll have gifts knit ahead of time, which is always a beautiful thing. Let's go into works in progress. And speaking of things I need to finish soon, I have one sock finished. Here, I can put it on a blocker and show you, because you may not see these again. Because the second one is almost done, and the birthday therefore is right around the corner, so I don't know if I'll have time to, actually I need to like finish it this week, basically. But I have just a tiny bit and the toe left to go on the second sock. Yeah, I like the other sock blockers better. Let me put it on the blue one. The blue sock blockers are a little bit bigger, and they fit my socks better. Make the socks look prettier. Is that not gorgeous? This is the Grand Central pattern again. And since I'm doing, these turned out to be a gift, I'm going to have to knit it again because I still don't have any for myself. Because the first pair I knit, I gave to my mom for Mother's Day. But I love this pattern. The colorway is Pawns by Deep. Hold on. Deep. I can't believe I just forgot that. Deep Dyed Yarns. That's what I was thinking, but I thought, well, that's not right. Used to be Luna Bud, but she changed her name to Deep Dyed Yarns. Here's her tag. Deep Dyed Yarns. So this is yarn that I picked up while I was in Lexington in April. And I have quite a bit left. Made them nice and tall even. So these are going to be a gift. They need to be finished this week. You won't see them again. So let's just say, look here, there's a hoe and a 3/4. I would have finished them before I recorded. But I decided to spend my time this morning finishing up the sunroom, so I'd be happy and cozy with that rather than spending the time relaxing and knitting. Because in a way it's relaxing just to have the space cleaned up. Did a little overhaul in the living room as well because I had a sideboard over there where the plastic thingies are now, the storage blocks, and so that went to the living room, so there was a little extra storage space there too, which is always a beautiful thing. So those are moseying along, and they were in a bag that was gifted to me in a swap, and it's from Little Skein in the Big Wool. It's all the yarn bombed stuff. It's a super cute bag. And in my Fringe Supply Company bag, and look, I finally have a pin on it, fueled by coffee. I am knitting socks out of Opal. Here's my lovely Opal tag, and it is number 9206. And I have, thanks to going to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I have 2 legs done. Oh, and I stopped in the middle of a row there and I'm losing stitches. Let's not do that. Alright, we have 2 legs, partial feet done. This is my only vanilla sock, so this is what gets knit on when I have to pay no attention to anything. I still haven't decided who's getting these socks. I don't know. I don't have to decide till it's nearly toe time. So I'll see at that point. If I need a gift, I'll fix them, knit them for that person, and if not, I'll just knit them for me. I don't know. I'm enjoying the yarn. I haven't knit on them very much, except for like at the theater. I can knit in the movie theater while I'm watching the movie if I'm just going round and round and round and round. So I make sure that before I go to the movies, I either have a cuff done so I can knit on the leg, or I make sure I'm past the heel so I can knit on the foot. And it has to be vanilla. I can't do not vanilla in the dark, but I can knit on the, I can do vanilla. I could do garter stitch to try it out. The first time I went to the movies and decided I'm going to see if I can knit, because I know some people do. I took dishcloth cotton and I cast on a dishcloth and I did garter stitch, and that went just fine. So next time then I tried a sock, which is actually even easier because you're just going in the round, rather than having to turn your work. So it's always good to get a bunch of sock knitting done when I go to the movies. We don't go very often. It has to be something we really, really want to see. But those will be going next weekend to go see Wonder Woman. And so that one foot that's just started is what I'll work on while I'm going to see Wonder Woman. That's been in the plans. We're shipping Aiden off for the weekend to some in-laws, and hubby and I are having date night and some alone time. Let's see. Something else I started. This is in a bag by Whimsy Stitches. I think this was my very first Whimsy Stitches bag. And the yarn is by Gwen Spins. I thought she was going to be at Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest, but I didn't see her on Friday. I think some vendors were only there like Saturday, Sunday, and I didn't go back over on Saturday, so the weather was yucky. We knew the weather was going to be slightly rainy, and but the boys ended up being able to swim some. We took our nephew, well, my sister and brother-in-law, they went to on Friday, and then they left my nephew with us, and we were at my father-in-law's house. They left him with us, that way he and Aiden could play, because they're BFFs. They're only like 4 months apart, so they play really well. And then we were bringing him back with us on Saturday. Well, when we got on the road, it was just barely sprinkling, just a tiny bit. And we're just like, well, it's not so bad. I knew there were storms coming, but I thought we were ahead of the storms. Not so much. We were like 45 minutes from home, and it started pouring like I have never driven in that kind of rain. I was doing 25 miles an hour on the interstate with the hazards on, just creepy crawling along, going up the mountain. It's not good. So we got most of the way home, and it was not slacking up, because I kept thinking, well, maybe we'll get ahead of it, but it's not. And my sister-in-law, they live on the other side of town, further away from the interstate. So I was like, Orion, how do you feel about spending the night with us tonight? Because I don't want to drive across town in this weather. It was really bad. And he was like, yeah, it's fine. So we checked with his mom, of course, to make sure it was okay. And they said, sure, that's fine. So we took him home, and right as we pulled into the driveway, into the garage, the sirens started going off, and the phones all started beeping for emergency warnings for tornadoes. So I don't know if it was confirmed, but I heard we had 2 tornadoes here in town. We still have people without power. A lot of people in the county without power. We were really lucky. Ours flickered but never went out. But my in-laws across town, they didn't have power from, I can't remember if it was the first round or the second round when they lost power. But all Saturday night and all day yesterday, they had no power. They came over here and hung out in the air conditioning because it's hot. But they have power now, so yay. So it was not a fun drive home at all. But Aiden got a little more time with his cousin, so that was good. That part was good. So anyway, she was not there. But this is Lisa Frank Blacklight. Oh man, that's awesome. Is that not awesome? I got this at Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest last year and decided it was time to cast on. Now I just barely cast on. Here it is. Here's one side. Here's the other side. I'm still debating about what pattern to use for this. It's going to be a Mina Phillips pattern. I might make this my Grand Central socks, since now I need to knit them again for myself. Or I might, depending on what the pattern looks like, because I get another one on June 1st, because I did the New York collection where I'm getting a new pattern every month, I think through September or August. Anyway, I'm getting another pattern. So depending on what the pattern looks like, I might do that pattern. And I also considered doing the May pattern. I haven't knit it yet. But it's a little more open lacy looking, and I don't really like that as much on a sock. I prefer just a texture. So we'll see. That is in my Whimsy Stitches bag. I'm not going to work on this until some other stuff is done. Namely, let's see, I think this is the one. Yeah, I cast these on just barely, but I'm using my Misty Mountain Makers Umber, which is Superwash Merino, Yak, and Silk. Super awesome. It's this purple that Sam picked out. I think I showed it to you guys last time. And I've just barely cast this on as well. I'm going to do I think it's the Rock Pool socks by Mina. And these are for my hubby's birthday. So after I finish the ones I'm working on that need to be finished ASAP, the Ponds ones, then these are going to get lots of attention. And then I just barely cast these on as well. I don't know, I might wait and give those to hubby for Christmas. I don't know if I can finish them by his birthday. His birthday is like on the 13th. I think that's not going to happen. So I may just put these up and those up, and either he'll get them when they're finished or he'll get them for Christmas. Christmas might be a better idea. It's not like he's going to wear them right now anyway, because, you know, it's way too hot. I did cast on these for Aiden. Same thing. They're probably going to get put up for later after I work on them, finish them, whatever. And these are by Dragonfly Fibers. It's Jeannie, and it's Van Gogh's Bedroom. Here's the details for it. I'm presuming that's sharp. I'm having issues. Is that? No, come on. I go pick up new glasses tomorrow. I'm getting bifocals. Not like traditional bifocals, but it's like the transition-y ones, because my up close thingy is not going good. Like the last couple of 3 months, I can really tell a difference, and it's so bad now. I can tell the difference when I'm knitting. Like sometimes when I'm knitting and there's like a pattern where I have to actually look at it, I have to take my glasses off. That's just bad. Anyway, so new glasses for me. I'm a little sad about it because I have all these fun glasses that, you know, that I wear, because my prescription, my distance prescription hasn't changed in years. So I have lots of, you know, a variety of glasses to wear depending on my mood. And but he said I can still wear those. I just have to be aware that if I'm going to be doing something up close, that either I have to take my glasses off when I'm doing it, or maybe make a point of wearing my new glasses if I'm going to be working on things up close. So we will see how that goes. Oh, I didn't show you. Sam's socks are in my Totoro bag from SoFlo, and Aiden's socks are in my Harry Potter bag, also from SoFlo. So those will get worked on. I'm not really sure My original thought was for their birthdays, but Sam's is the 13th and Aiden's is the 20th, and unless I don't do anything button it on those socks, that's not going to happen. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Maybe the smarter thing would be, oh, I could probably get Aiden's socks done for his birthday and then do husband's socks for our anniversary in July. That might be a better way to do it. Yeah. And actually, you know what? I might do the stripy rainbow socks for Aiden for his birthday and put the other ones up for later. Then I'm not stressing myself out at all. All about not stressing myself out. All right. Spinning. There has been a bunch of spinning. I can now finally again sit at my wheel and spin to my heart's content. And my leg isn't all pissed off about it. Yay! So I've done a lot of spinning. I did a lot of just getting things off bobbins. This part of this has been on a bobbin for a long time. The colorful parts there, it's still wet. I just finished this last night. And it was from Moon Holler, and she's not dying anymore. There might still be some stuff in her shop though. I know she was just kind of finishing up selling, what she had, but so this has been on the wheel forever on a bobbin. So what I did is, actually this is the little piece that had been on the bobbin forever, and I just did a 3-ply and finished it off. Then I used some of that same braid of fiber and practiced core spinning. You see that? There's a little bit of other fiber in there too, because what I did is I wanted to practice core spinning because I thought it would be, I've only done it a couple of times because I didn't really want to knit with it, but I thought for weaving it would be fun and give me some good texture. So you can kind of see here is where I started, and I tried out using some tiddly bits, but I decided that didn't really give me the look I was going for. But you can see that towards the end, which like these are like towards the end, I was kind of getting the hang of what I wanted. And those are the fiber that's from Moon Holler. So that was fun. I felt like when I was getting towards the end, I was getting a little more comfortable, and I like how that looks, although I will weave with all of it. I'm not going to worry about that. Then this, I had what was left, I just spun, and then I spun this blue, which was, I think it's Kromsky fiber. I didn't bring it in here. It was some that was gifted to me. And I didn't spin all of it. I just spun enough of it to kind of go with what was already on the bobbin so I could do a 2-ply. And now, like I say, it's still wet, and it kind of blends. So I have 3 different textures of the same type of, the same fiber, color family kind of thing. And I'm going to do some kind of weaving with all 3 of these. Because none of it's enough to bother to knit with. But I think it'll be really fun. Maybe, I don't know, maybe use this as the warp and these as the weave. I'm not really sure what I'll do as far as the actual weaving, but they'll all go together somehow. Might use something else for the warp and then use all 3 of these to weave. That might be a better idea. And I can kind of alternate the textures. I think that might be good. So I did do that. This is just a bunch of oddball stuff that I had laying around. I had a bunch of like little bitty bats. The white and the yellow was like little poofs I had gotten in my fiber share swap, and the dark purple was some leftover, I think it was Romney, that I had dyed. And then I had some silk cocoons that I got from Knitting Nightmare, I think, at SSK. Maybe that's where I got them from, Knitter's Nightmare. In my head, that's where I think they came from. I'm not sure if that's right. But I know I bought them at SSK. I'm pretty sure that's where they came from. But so, here's what I got. I just spun it all and then did a Navajo ply. And I'll just use that for weaving at some point. No idea what I'll do with it exactly. But it was another one of those things where I got rid of some little bumps. I got rid of some leftovers. I tried the little silk. They're like little silk cocoon bits. I'd never spun those before. It was different. And I didn't spin them all because I kind of got annoyed with it. But I spun enough to give it some color pop. Then I spun this. I spun and then did I think I did a 3-ply. Did a Navajo ply again. This was Candy something or other. I just got this in the mail, actually, this past month. I spun it as soon as I got it. It was from Rockin' String, and it was called, here, let me see, it should be on my little sheet here. Okay, there's going to be crinkle. I got it when I got this yarn. I'll show you the yarn a little bit. It's called Birthday Cupcakes. Birthday Cupcakes. It was a custom blend spinning fiber, and it was merino. So this will be super fun to weave with also. And it's a bulky. I got a bulky heddle a while back for my, oh, that reminds me, I have weaving over there to show you. I did get a bulky heddle to weave with, so that'll be good. Actually, I thought I might weave these. Use one as a warp, use one as the weft kind of thing. Let me grab the weaving real quick so I don't forget. Show you that too. Okay. More spinning. I spun 2 set of bats that I had from Hobbledehoy, and I left the tag out. I know this one is the ice. Oh, you know what? It might, well, I was gonna say it'd be on my Instagram, but I'm using the phone to record. This is the ice skate bats, and they're still wet, but aren't they gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? I'll probably knit with that because that's just pretty. And I got a decent amount of yardage, and that'll be fun to knit with. I'm thinking maybe something around the neck. It's gonna be pretty. And then this was also a set of 3 bats. I bought them at the same time because originally I was thinking I would spin them and then ply the 2 together. But then when I got them and actually looked at them in person, I was like, no. So here's the other one. So it's also Hobbledehoy. And let me tell you, her fiber is like crack. It's my crack. I mean, it never disappoints. It's always beautiful, soft, spins like butter. It's just a freaking joy to spin. It's just, I can't ever say enough about it. So if you've not tried any fiber by Hobbledehoy, for goodness sakes, go get some. Because they're amazing. They're amazing to spin. Amazing. The last thing I spun was this. This I purchased in a D-stash for my friend Wendy, Silly Frew, and it was from Orange Jellyfish Dream, but it was dyed by Frost Yarns. And so I I ripped the braid in 2 and spun it and then plied it together, and some of the times the colors stay separated and sometimes they overlap, and so it's kind of a gradient kind of thing looking. I mean, not a true gradient, but it kind of looks like a gradient because of the way the colors transition into each other. Here, that might be a good section to show you. Yeah, like that. It's so squishy. It was merino, and this will probably get knit with as well. Maybe not. Never can tell. Whatever the mood strikes me. But it turned out really pretty. Let's see if I can make this into a nice little hank again. There. Sort of a nice hank. I'm not the best at making the little hanks, but here he is. Gorgeous, right? Well, as I'm going through here, at least there was lots of crafting, even though there was no podcasting. I did a lot of spinning as I was rearranging the room, because I would do a section and then think about what do I want to do next, because I wanted to be kind of mindful about how I rearrange things instead of just willy-nilly going in here and moving things around. I wanted to be kind of thoughtful about it so it would work well for me as far as using it after I moved things around. So I did a lot of spinning in here with the clutter as I mulled over about what to do. So therefore, lots of spinning. And then yesterday, I was going to finish cleaning up and podcast yesterday, but then my in-laws ended up coming over and we had movie day. We watched Secret Life of Pets, then we watched Finding Dory, and then we watched Kubo. Well, we watched Kubo last, and then we also watched the Minion movie. We just watched one movie after the other. And so I spun the ice bats and the other blue. The ones that are still damp are the ones I spun yesterday. It was good use of my time while I was hanging out. I did want to work on the socks because present. Alright, so, and I also spun, earlier this month, I spun this. So, last year at SSK, I bought some crazy bats from Hobbledehoy. Crazy bats. And oh, someone named Tiger has pulled a little, he's pulled a string, see? Goofy cat. Anyway, so I finally spun the crazy bats and I applied them and then I wove them, and this is what I got. My favorite part is this in here. This is sari silk that kind of got bunched up, so I have sari silk in that stripe. I love that stripe. I've already ironed on the interfacing on the back, so I can start sewing with it, and I haven't been able to sew because I have had no room to sew in here. So now I do have that, and I just love it. At this section right there, I just love that so much. I will probably, my thought was, you can see where the yarn break was. So I'm thinking this will be on one bag and this will be on another bag. This is the header, so it'll start about there. So here to here. And then since there's a tug here, this one will start like here to here. And then this little section I can use as a patchwork piece. So that will be nice for that. And I had this on the loom forever. This only took like a day to weave. I used the bulky, so you can see how thick the yarn is. I used the bulky petal, and it was super fast. This was fingering weight and took forever. So here it is. I used a variety of colors because I'll be cutting this into sections to use in bags. So that way I won't get bored. And I have a variety of colors to go with different fabrics. Pretty cool, right? Whee! Had this on the loom forever. I've been weaving like at my kitchen table, but then it takes up like most of my little kitchen table. If we have company, we eat out here on this huge table, but just for us day to day, we eat at a little one in the kitchen. But like I said, it takes up my space at the kitchen table. Now it's easy enough to move back and forth, but that just kind of gets annoying. So I think what I'll do after I warp the next time, I'm going to attach the loom to one of those little TV, like that, one of those little TV stand things, and see how that does height-wise. And if I don't like that, I'm going to order the stand to go with my loom, so it just has its own designated space. I'm thinking the stand will be higher and be better for sitting at the table. I have an adjustable stool that I'm sitting on that I think I can make work with that. But if not, then I'm just going to break down and buy the stand because it'll just be easier. Alright, we are at stash enhancement. You already saw the fiber I spun that came from Rock and String. The other thing I got from Rock and String, because I have a Rock and String problem, is it's on Jitterbug fingering, which is my favorite base. These are actually on the same base. Friend Valerie knows Erin, and that's where she got this yarn. Another reason I love those socks. This is self-striping Summer Lovin'. How amazing is that, right? And so that came in the mail, and this came in the mail. This is from Arctic Crafts. Came from the North Pole. No, not literally. Let's see. Close though. Let me see. Where was it from? Does it not say? I don't remember. Anyway, it did come from Alaska. And it's from Arctic Crafts. I got myself some nice little tea. It's Breakfast in Paris black tea. Sounds tasty. And I ordered because I had to have this. This is Sugar Plum Fairy. I got it on the 75% Superwash Merino, 25% nylon base. It's 437 yards. And it's really, really pretty. It transitions from just the bare yarn to a pale, 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 pale pink, deeper pink, into lavender, into purple, into really dark purple, almost black. It's so pretty. So pretty. And then I got a second skein. This one is worsted, and it's mermaid tail. And once again, it's from, you can find them on Etsy, Arctic Crafts. Really nice. This one is 100% superwash, and it's 220 yards. 3.5 ounces. It's really fun. Fun blues. And lavenders and purples. So those were all, that's all I got in the mail all month. Pretty good, right? Are you impressed? I'm impressed. I'm super impressed with myself. Now that I'm thinking about it, and that's all I got all month long. Not so bad. Now, I did go to Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest, and I bought some sari silk from Deer Trace Farms. They're out of Fayetteville, Tennessee. Carol and Gary Runyon. They're super nice. Or Gary was super nice. If I have time, I'm knitting him some socks for a joke before 5 in the borough. Maybe he should get the stripy ones. If I knit him socks, they're going to be fun ones. He was joking that if I knit him socks, I can get my fiber at half price. And I was like, He says, I'm just joking. He says, although one woman did it one year. So, I don't know. I might. Just because it'd be funny. He only wears like an 8. It's like Aiden size. I could do that. So I got this bunch of sari silk that I'm going to spin up and weave with. And then I got in here, can't wait to spin this. I was gonna spin this next, but I cleaned off my bobbins first. So this is going to be spun next now that my bobbins are cleared. Is that not magnificent? Yeah. It's from Deep Dyed Yarn. It's 3.3 ounces. And it's just magnificent. Look at it. I haven't spun an art bat like this in forever. And this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted some fun stuff to spin for weaving. So I was looking for sari silk. Check. I was looking for a fun art bat. Check. I got some silk hankies, also from Deep Dyed Yarn. Same kind of color, sort of can go together. Actually, these can all kind of go together. Check. And then from Unplanned Peacock, I got rainbow silk top, and this is 6 ounces. Let's see, here's Unplanned Peacock. And here's the colors. And this is merino, I think. Merino blend. Silk top, so I guess it's just silk. Ooh. So these are going to be super fun to spin, and they will give some nice texture for weaving. The only other thing I got, oh, here's my sock roller. Can't lose that. The only other thing I bought, well, I bought my husband a mug. I don't know what the lady's name is, and she doesn't give a card. I don't even think she has a big sign or anything. But anyway, she does handmade pottery. And for the last 2 years, I've gotten my husband a mug from her at Fiber in the Borough. And this year, she was at Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest. So he got a mug. That's tradition now. Whenever I see her, he gets a mug. And, but it's in the kitchen. He's been using it. Actually, I think it's in the office where he's working. The only other thing I bought was from Bon Aqua Cabin. I got some shaving soap for the husband. And actually, I think I might try it too. For, you know. And then I got coconut salt spa bar, which is supposed to be really good and moisturizing, they said. And I've tried some of their soap before. Their soap was really nice. So I'm stocked up on soap at the moment, because most of the time I use soap from Sparrow Soap, and I had stocked up and had a bunch. And then I also got some from, I just had it in here, but I put it up. No, it's right here. I got soap from, yeah, Hearts at Home soap. I got this at Fiber in the Borough. They're always there. This is the Winter Spice. I really like their soap too. But it's all goat's milk, all natural stuff. So they're very similar to each other, those three makers. The scents are different, obviously, but as far as the feel of them, and them being goat's milk, that's the similarity, I guess. So I'm very curious to try this. I wanted to try it this morning, actually yesterday, but I decided to wait and show it to you guys before I tried it out. So now Sam and I can shave and wash. Not that we didn't anyway. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Alright, so don't forget, we have the Knitting Expat Designs Knit Along going through the end of June. And I haven't picked prizes for that yet. I'm sorry. I will do that and show them to you next time. They will be awesome. Trust me. And if I thought about it, I would have done that this morning, but I didn't think about it till just right this second. So, yeah. I will see you guys next time. Happy crafting. With any luck, I will record again next weekend. Bye.